Africa, a continent of 54 nations, over 1.4 billion people, and some of the most rapidly evolving military powers on the planet. But which African nations hold the greatest military might in 2025? Which countries have invested billions in tanks, fighter jets, and naval fleets? And which militaries have transformed themselves into regional powerhouses capable of projecting force across borders? Today, we're breaking down the definitive 2025 ranking of the most powerful militaries in Africa, according to the Global Firepower Index, the world's most comprehensive military assessment that evaluates over 60 different factors. From cutting-edge fighter jets to massive tank battalions, from strategic naval fleets to special operations forces battling terrorism. This is the complete picture of African military power in 2025. Stay until the end, because the #1 spot might surprise you, and will reveal the shocking changes in this year's rankings that have reshaped the continent's military landscape. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the rankings, let's quickly understand how military power is actually measured. The Global Firepower Index evaluates 145 countries worldwide, including 38 African nations. They use over 60 individual factors to calculate what's called a power index score, where 0 represents theoretical perfection and lower scores indicate stronger militaries. So what factors matter? First, there's manpower. How many active troops, reserves, and paramilitary forces a nation can deploy. Then there's firepower. We're talking tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, and rocket launchers. Air power is crucial. Fighter jets, attack helicopters, transport aircraft, and increasingly, drones. Naval strength matters for coastal nations, submarines, frigates, patrol vessels, and aircraft carriers. And finally, logistics and finances, defense budgets, natural resources, infrastructure, and the ability to sustain military operations over time. Importantly, this ranking focuses on conventional military strength. Nuclear weapons aren't directly counted, though no African nation currently possesses them. Now, let's count down Africa's military titans of 2025. Kicking off our top 10 at number 10 is Libya, ranked 76th globally with a power index of approximately 1.57. Now, Libya's inclusion might surprise some viewers. After years of civil war that tore the country apart, Libya's military is slowly rebuilding. The government has been working to unite various armed factions into a cohesive national force. Turkish-supplied drones and Russian-backed artillery have boosted their air and ground capabilities significantly. However, Libya still struggles with a fundamental problem: the continued reliance on militias and foreign military support. Their path to a truly unified, professional military remains challenging. But their strategic location along the Mediterranean and vast oil reserves ensure Libya remains militarily relevant in North Africa. At number 9, we have Sudan, ranked 73rd globally. Despite ongoing political instability that has made international headlines, Sudan maintains one of the largest standing armies on the African continent. Sudan's military history runs deep, and their defense sector has been evolving. They've traditionally relied on Russian military equipment, but in recent years, Sudan has begun exploring domestic arms manufacturing, a significant step toward self-reliance. Their military operations focus heavily on protecting the strategically vital Red Sea corridor. Rapid deployment units have been established to manage border security and internal conflicts. Sudan's position on this list reflects both its large manpower reserves and its geopolitical importance, even as the nation navigates turbulent political waters. Number 8 goes to the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, ranked 66th globally. The DRC faces massive internal security challenges, particularly in its eastern regions where various militia groups operate. But that hasn't stopped significant military investment. In 2025, the DRC has ramped up training programs and is exploring new defense partnerships with both China and South Africa. The goal? Target militia-controlled areas and restore government authority. New investments in light helicopters and mobile units are transforming the DRC's counterinsurgency capabilities. While they may lack the advanced equipment of North African powers, the DRC's sheer size, both geographically and in terms of available manpower, keeps them firmly in Africa's top 10. At number 7 is Morocco, ranked 59th globally with a power index of 1.1273, an improvement from 61st place last year. Morocco has been on a serious military modernization journey. Their 2025 defense budget hit nearly 135 billion dirhams, that's approximately 13 billion US dollars, showing the kingdom's commitment to military strength. Let's break down what Morocco is working with. The Royal Armed Forces field about 200,000 active personnel, backed by 150,000 reservists and 50,000 paramilitary forces. On the ground, they operate 903 tanks, over 7,800 armored vehicles, and nearly 400 self-propelled artillery systems. In the air, Morocco's Royal Air Force operates 260 aircraft, including 83 fighter jets, predominantly American F-16s. And here's some big news. Morocco is reportedly in negotiations to acquire 32 F-35 Lightning IIs stealth fighters, which would be a game-changer for the region. Their navy, equipped with 6 frigates, a corvette, and over 100 patrol vessels, secures both the Atlantic coast and the strategic Strait of Gibraltar. Morocco has built strong defense ties with NATO and maintains partnerships with the United States, France, Israel, and the UAE. This network of alliances enhances their military capabilities well beyond what their ranking might suggest. Coming in at number 6 is Angola, ranked 56th globally with a power index of 1.0961. Angola's military power is built on oil wealth. Those petroleum revenues have funded significant post-Civil War investments in diverse military capabilities, tanks, airlift logistics, and coastal defense systems. Historic ties to Russia and Brazil have provided Angola with a solid armored division. In 2025, Angola has particularly focused on developing mobile units to protect its oil-rich Atlantic coastline. With approximately 117,000 military personnel, Angola maintains a balanced force across land, air, and naval domains. Their military may not grab international headlines, but their steady investment has built a formidable regional power in southern Africa. Number 5 belongs to Ethiopia, ranked 52nd globally with a power index of 0.9305. Ethiopia commands what many analysts consider the most battle-ready military force in East Africa. And that battle readiness? It's been earned through hard experience. Following years of internal conflict, Ethiopia's military has undergone significant reorganization. The emphasis now is on joint operations, domestic training programs, urban combat readiness, and crucially, drone warfare. Ethiopia has developed partnerships with Turkey for drone technology and maintains defense ties with Iran. These relationships have enhanced their unmanned aerial capabilities dramatically. On paper, Ethiopia fields around 162,000 soldiers, with 75,000 in the Army, 10,000 in the Navy, and 5,000 in the Air Force. They operate approximately 7,300 military vehicles, 338 tanks, and 103 aircraft, including 25 fighter jets. As a landlocked nation, though this is changing with their new Red Sea access agreements, Ethiopia's military strategy focuses primarily on land-based dominance and regional security in the volatile Horn of Africa. At number 4 is South Africa, ranked 40th globally with a power index of 0.6889. Now, here's where things get interesting. South Africa actually dropped from third place last year, overtaken by Nigeria. What happened? South Africa possesses something most African militaries lack: a sophisticated domestic defense industry. Companies like Denel produce helicopters, armored vehicles, and weapon systems locally. Their military boasts advanced technology that rivals developed nations. The South African National Defense Force fields about 71,000 active personnel with nearly 30,000 reservists. Their ground forces operate 252 tanks and over 18,600 armored vehicles. Their navy includes 3 submarines, a rarity in African waters, and 33 patrol vessels. But here's the challenge. Budget constraints and aging equipment have hampered modernization. While South Africa's military culture remains professional and their technical sophistication is undeniable, financial pressures have limited their ability to keep pace with rapidly modernizing neighbors. Their Air Force, once among Africa's finest, now operates just 2 fighter jets operationally, alongside 87 helicopters. Cyber capabilities are emerging as a priority, positioning South Africa as a leader in that domain. Despite the ranking slip, South Africa's Navy and Air Force remain dominant in southern Africa. Their institutional strength and professional military culture ensure continued regional influence. Breaking into the top 3 is Nigeria, ranked 31st globally, with a power index of 0.5771. This is the headline story of 2025 African military rankings. Nigeria jumped from 4th in Africa and 39th globally to 3rd in Africa and 31st globally. That's a remarkable rise. What's driving this ascent? First, increased defense investments. Nigeria has poured resources into modernizing its armed forces. Second, expanded military partnerships, particularly with China. A Nigerian Air Force delegation recently visited Beijing to negotiate advanced radar systems, air defense platforms, and counter-drone technology. The Military Total Radar Coverage of Nigeria initiative aims to comprehensively protect Nigerian airspace. Third, intensified counter-terrorism operations. Nigeria's military has been battling Boko Haram and ISWAP insurgents in the northeast for over a decade. That combat experience, while costly, has honed their capabilities. Nigeria fields approximately 230,000 active military personnel, one of Africa's largest forces. They operate 330 tanks, nearly 9,000 military vehicles, and 163 aircraft. Their navy, with 109 patrol vessels, is expanding operations in the Gulf of Guinea to combat piracy. Indigenous defense production is growing too. The 2025 Danisa attack drone represents Nigeria's push toward military self-reliance. With Africa's largest population and substantial oil wealth, Nigeria's trajectory as a military power seems set to continue upward. Second place goes to Algeria, ranked 26th globally with a power index of 0.3589. Here's a striking fact. Algeria has Africa's largest defense budget. In 2025, they allocated a record 25 billion US dollars to defense spending. That's more than 4 times Egypt's budget. So why isn't Algeria number one? The global firepower methodology weighs operational effectiveness and balance, not just spending. Still, Algeria's military is absolutely formidable. They maintain 610,000 total military personnel with 325,000 active soldiers. Their army alone has 182,500 troops. On land, Algeria fields approximately 26,000 military vehicles, nearly 1,500 tanks, including over 500 advanced Russian T-90SAs and hundreds of upgraded T-72s, plus extensive artillery systems. Algeria's air force is one of Africa's most advanced. They operate 608 aircraft, including 102 fighter jets, primarily Russian Su-30 MKAs with recently acquired Su-35s. Algeria is even reportedly negotiating for fifth-generation Su-57 stealth fighters. Their strategic focus? Territorial defense, counterterrorism, and energy infrastructure protection. Algeria's military heritage runs deep, forged in their brutal war of independence against France, and hardened during a decade-long civil war against Islamist insurgents. Today, the Algerian People's National Army secures vast Saharan borders, counters terrorist threats in the Sahel, and maintains a careful balance in their rivalry with Morocco. Russia remains Algeria's primary weapons supplier, though China is increasingly providing advanced systems like the YLC-2V radar capable of detecting targets 500 kilometers away. And at number 1, Africa's most powerful military in 2025 is Egypt, ranked 19th globally with a power index of 0.3427. Egypt has dominated African military rankings for years, and 2025 is no exception. Let's examine why. The Egyptian armed forces comprise 4 branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, and Air Defense Forces. Together, they field approximately 440,000 active personnel, making it one of the world's largest militaries. On the ground, Egypt operates the largest armored force in Africa and one of the biggest worldwide. We're talking over 3,600 tanks, including more than 1,000 American M1 Abrams produced under license in Egypt, plus 41,000 military vehicles and over 1,000 self-propelled artillery systems. Egypt's Air Force operates more than 1,000 aircraft with 238 fighter jets, including American F-16s and French Rafales. Their attack helicopter fleet is among the world's largest. The Egyptian Navy dominates both the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. They operate 8 submarines, 2 Mistral-class helicopter carriers, acquired from France, and modern frigates. It's the largest navy in Africa and the Middle East. In 2025, Egypt acquired China's advanced HQ-9B surface-to-air missile system, providing air defense coverage up to 300 kilometers and the ability to engage multiple targets, including stealth aircraft and ballistic missiles. But Egypt's true strategic advantage isn't just equipment, it's geography. Egypt controls the Suez Canal, one of the world's most vital waterways connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. This positioning makes Egypt indispensable to global trade and guarantees international strategic partnerships. Egypt receives approximately $1.85 billion in annual military aid from the United States. They've also diversified suppliers to include France, Russia, Germany, and increasingly China. This mix of Western and Eastern equipment, while creating interoperability challenges, ensures Egypt isn't dependent on any single partner. Egypt's military-industrial base is also growing. Domestic production includes armored vehicles, naval vessels, electronics, and even unmanned aerial vehicles. For these reasons, Egypt remains Africa's undisputed military superpower in 2025. And there you have it, the definitive ranking of Africa's most powerful militaries in 2025. To recap, Egypt leads the continent, followed by Algeria's massive defense spending, Nigeria's remarkable rise, South Africa's technological sophistication, and Ethiopia's battle-hardened forces. Angola, Morocco, the DRC, Sudan, and Libya round out the top 10. What we're witnessing is a continent in military transition, investing in modernization, building indigenous defense industries, and navigating complex regional security challenges. If you found this breakdown informative, smash that like button and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. Drop a comment below telling us which African military impressed you most. Until next time.